to the Dawgs podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
I'm all alone, guys. Justin left. It's just me. No, I'm just kidding. He's just out. He stepped out back real quick. And I just wanted to jump on here and let you guys know that Ralph Holley, I believe, is joining us here soon, momentarily. Wrapping up a couple things and then coming down here. If you're new to the stream, if you're just jumping on, we are live from Wabash Lanes in New Philadelphia. Here comes Justin. New Philadelphia, Ohio. We're doing Bowling with Browns Legends, presented by the Tuscarawas County Browns backers. And again, you can come sit down, dude. The live stream today is presented by Omaha Steaks, so make sure you guys head over to omahasteaks.com. Get your orders in for 4th of July. 50% off site-wide right now with $45 off your order with promo code BARK, B-A-R-K, when you check out. So head over to omahasteaks.com. Okay. I don't know. Was Marcus wanting to get on?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I was just talking.
Gotcha. So we're waiting on Ralph. We got a couple guys from the Browns backers that are going to sit down. We are going to try to wrap this stream up. I'd say 3.
Sure.
Probably cut her off at 3. We'll see what we can get done between now and then. That's all right.
No. Yeah.
Okay. It looks like he's going to go get Ralph. That's cool. All right. I didn't know what we were doing.
I was ready to interview.
That's cool.
Interview anybody.
All right, so you guys, if you have questions in the chat right now for Ralph Holley, current player on the Browns, if you're not familiar with the roster, he is a defensive tackle. We signed out of the CFL. I think he played, gosh, you got his bio. I think he played Western...
Albany?
No, I'm thinking college. Western, I forget. But he played for the Argonauts in the CFL.
Correct.
So... he's a Grey Cup champion. Hang on a second. Yeah, do you want to sit down?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, I thought you were getting Ralph. We're waiting on Ralph real quick. Yeah. So what time you want to come back? As soon as he's done. Okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry, everybody. Confusion here on the live. No big deal. It's all good. But yeah, Ralph Holley should be heading. Oh, here he comes. Cool. So here, let me throw up the screen real fast. We'll be right back, guys. Okay, everybody, welcome back in here. As promised, we got Ralph Holley, current Browns player, sitting down at the table with us. Nice to have you here, man. Thanks for coming down to this event.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We're pumped to have you on the team. I know, obviously a lot of average fans out there aren't as familiar with the depth chart this time of the summer as they will be once training camp gets started and everything, but we follow very closely, obviously, doing the podcast. And I was honestly very excited when the Browns brought you in and everything, because I feel like you add, you're, I guess, a rookie, right, in the NFL.
Yeah, technically,
but you're not a rookie. Like, you bring veteran experience in professional football to that defensive tackle unit, which I think is very big for the Browns.
Yeah, and it's a blessing being surrounded by, so many, other vets as well. Even though I'm considered a rookie, yes, in the NFL, this is my 3rd year being pro. So, I have a lot of experience under my belt as well, and it's awesome being surrounded by, some vets, Miles, Malik, all of them. So it's going to be cool.
Yeah, it's that defensive line, man. We're really hoping it's the strong point of that defense once again, because, with Jim Schwartz and the guys you have on there, it could be very nasty.
Yeah.
Very nasty.
I agree, 100%.
But, so talk about, your journey through the CFL, and you're a Grey Cup champion, right? So, you've won a professional football championship. That's awesome stuff, man. That's really cool. So what was that all like?
So, the CFL, it was great, man. I love Toronto. I love the fans there. My story in Toronto is just it's an up and down one. I started off on practice roster, actually, for the first 3 games of the season. And then injuries happened, and I got the opportunity to play. And, my first game in, I was just I can't go back down to practice squad, I was happy being on the team. I was grateful being on the team, but, I wanted to play like anybody else. My first game in, I did really well. I had a sack, TFL. And then just following the season, it started just ranking up. And, we played, I think it was the BC Lions. It was our 7th or 8th game. And that was my first game where I had 3 sacks. And, it was just this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm doing this because probably a year ago I was substitute teaching, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. I didn't think I was going to be playing football. So, and I got a call from my agent. Hey, Toronto wants to sign you. I was like, let's do it. So, it's a blessing that everything comes, full circle from hard work and everything. But yeah, after that game, we ended up like winning out our division and everything like that. And then, the Grey Cup came, and it was just crazy. I ended up having a sack in the Grey Cup. It's funny because in the CFL they don't count half sacks or half tackle. It's like even one guy gets it. One guy gets it. So people would be fighting. Some people would be getting angry. That's my sack. That's my tackle. So but it's awesome the way everything ended. So yeah,
that's great, man. So defensive tackle position. I think this is a great opportunity to talk to you about this because we've talked about it on the show before, but. Going from college football at the defensive tackle position to the NFL or to the pros, there's more of a learning curve, right? Yeah. Can you talk about that, facing like full-on NFL caliber or pro-level caliber offensive linemen versus in college you might face a few of them, but most of those guys aren't going to go pro.
That's true. Yeah, and it's a thing of like I feel like the biggest thing for me was like you have your distinct quality of what makes you a good defensive lineman, and the thing is like holding on to that and expanding on that, because it's a natural born gift like you've had since high school. You've been like, for me it's my get off and my speed as at my size, and it was me not just like sitting in that but like trying to build on it. And like that's the thing that I learned like going to the pros is that they focus on every little thing with your game. There's different steps I can take that'll make me better, different ways I can pass rush that'll make me, win more. I was blessed to have a great coach in Toronto that, expanded and let me play how I play, but also didn't let me get comfortable in the way I play. He educated me on different ways, and that's the same way that my D-line coach now is doing. He's expanding on what I did last year and just trying to promote that. So I say the biggest thing is the little details that I learned from college to pro.
It's very cool, man.
Yeah.
We've talked about how competitive that room is.
Yeah.
The veterans. Is there anybody that you've really gravitated to, like that you've leaned on, or just for advice?
Yeah, honestly, I would say the biggest vet is probably Sam Kamara.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sam Kamara. I've trained with him before in the off season, and he's somebody that is just like he wasn't drafted. He's moved multiple teams in a while in a short period of time, but his tenacity and him just being a dog on the field, man, it's just like, in the way he plays, I admire it. And he's taught me a lot about my game with me being here. I'm still trying to get used to the scheme and everything, which I love. I love the way Short schemes us up because he lets us play to each of our strengths. And but Sam Kamara is really somebody that has been helping me, and somebody that's just been like showing me the ropes here in Cleveland. So.
Well, that's cool to hear you. We'll talk about Jim Schwartz, I think, here in a little bit, a little more. But Kamara is a guy that I feel like every year he's on this roster. He's just, you see his name around, and it's like that, and that's good to hear that that's the kind of stuff that keeps him in the fold with the Browns. And UDFAs have been kind of a hit here in Cleveland. I mean, we got Diabate, you've got Winston Reed, Ronnie Hickman, these guys that Andrew Berry has signed that come in here, and it's like, oh my gosh, we got some players here. This is pretty sweet. So it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, it is. It's an awesome opportunity, and I think we have this motto, in our defense room, hungry dogs run faster, So that's
like
the
that
motto. Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, man, like your journey, it's been crazy. Like you're so humble, man. Like just sitting here listening to it. I guess, what has your experience been like? Because this is your first time on an NFL camp. Like, is it kind of surreal? Are you pinching yourself and going, like all my? And I'm not saying all your dreams have come true, but like, this is something that you've got to check off, man, and go, hey, I did this. My hard work is paying through. Like, does it seem surreal, or are you just?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, this is a dream come true for me. And, you know, that's what my defensive line coach, Jock, he was telling me when I got here. He was like, you're here now? He was like, but realize you're supposed to be here. You know, like, we just didn't sign you just to sign you. Realize you're supposed to be here. He's like, enjoy it, but, you know, realize you're here to work. And I was like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Like, I've reached this goal, but I'm not satisfied with where I'm at in my life, you know, in this goal. You know, I've had to battle through every league. I've been in the USFL, I've been in the CFL, now I'm in the NFL, and I've been to in the USFL. We didn't win it, but we made it to the championship there. CFL, I won the championship. And I'm just trying to bring that mojo and everything that I've learned from the years up here and just, you know, expand on it. So, you know, my story is a story of trials and tribulations, ups and downs, being denied, being told no, but still persevering. And I feel like that's, like, honestly one of the reasons why I picked the Browns, man, like, to come here is just because of the tenacity and, like, the blue-collar football we play here. Like, I'm not really one for, like, really, like, not, I wouldn't say, like, pretty football, but, like, I'm a football player at the end of the day. You know, and I feel like the Browns embody what football is, you know, wholeheartedly.
Yeah, well, and since Jim Schwartz has been here, I mean, the defense has definitely been the strength of the team, and they've been so much fun to watch. It was a huge difference that, you know, 23, whenever his first year here, it was like, wow, this is intense. I mean, the get after the quarterback is nuts. I mean, remember we had Joe Burrow out there just throwing quick shovel passes out to the sideline because he just couldn't hold on to the ball very long, and it was so fun. So, what's Jacques like as a coach? You know, he seems like a pretty cool dude.
Oh, that dude, he's a great guy. He's intense though. Like he challenges me, not even on a physical aspect, on a mental aspect, to be better, you know. And I respect that so much because he's pushing me in ways that other coaches haven't pushed me before.
That's good.
Which is making me, it's bringing something else out of me that I've never tapped into personally in my game. And I'm understanding the game more. I'm understanding offensive schemes more. You know, the game is just slowing down for me so much because he trusts us and he takes the time for us to learn as well. Like what Jock does is that he applies pressure to where he knows that we're weak at, and then he pushes us to get better at that, so that you know you've heard the analogy, you're only as strong as your weakest link. He doesn't want there to be a weak link, so he hits those points, and he coaches us. Like, I feel like coaching is another form of teaching, and he is that to a T. He is coaching us and teaching us, you know, way more than just, you know, defense. He's teaching us the whole game. So I really appreciate Jock, you know, for doing that.
That's great, man. Yeah. I mean, and we've kind of been getting some of the former players, the alumni, their opinions on the team and the coaches and stuff from their perspective, but it's just we don't really get to sit down with, like, former players that often, or I mean current players that often. So, like, what's your overall impression of Kevin Stefanski? Because, you know, he's like the longest tenured coach we've had in decades. And I mean, he's won 2 Coach of the Year awards. He's brought us some winning seasons, a playoff game that we won. I mean, it's been a fun ride with Kevin so far.
Man, Coach Stefanski is awesome, man. I remember the first day I met him when I first got to Cleveland for, like, my first workout. And, you know, I went up and I introduced myself, and he was like, I know who you are, Ralph. I'm like, Coach, all right. You know, I was like, all right. And every morning, you know, I walk in. His office is right by our door when we walk in. Every morning he gives me hey, Ralph, what's going on? Ralph, morning, Ralph. You know, I'm just like, what's going on, Coach? You know, but the attention to detail that he brings towards the meetings, you know, he knows what we need to improve on. He doesn't shy from it at all. And, you know, that has rubbed off on our team so much. Like, these OTAs were, like, actually, like, just, like, amazing. Like, we're paying attention to the small things because, you know, some of the small things can lead a lot of the small things lead to the big things. But he's been harping on a lot of the details that we need to pay attention to. And, you know, it's just been, you know, I just appreciate him for that because he wants to get better as long as, you know.
We've heard just from, you know, reports and stuff that, like, there's a different kind of energy and tenacity and, like, intensity about, you know, the OTAs so far.
The off-season program.
The off-season program in general. So, I mean, that's super encouraging, you know. it is cool to hear that. Like we're like, okay, hey, let's get back to it because we're not that far removed from being in the playoffs. It's
Well, and okay, so being on the defensive side of the ball during these OTAs and everything, what are you seeing from the offense as far as the scheme? Are they, because there's all the talk about getting back to the run, run first mentality, the come at you and attack. Like, what are you seeing from the offensive linemen, the scheme, the new running backs that we have, all that kind of stuff?
Man, I was just say everything is just. It's just ferocious of a thing. I'm not gonna lie.
That's good.
When we're in OTAs, they're coming at us. And I love it. Our offense. I didn't have the chance to experience them last year, but personally, from what I'm seeing, the offense is clicking. They're moving fast. They're moving physical. They're communicating. The communication is off the par. They're making plays, as long as with us making plays as well,
right.
And when we're competing, and there's that competition aspect that you have that you will apply to the game that we're emulating every day in practice. So,
you gotta practice hard if you're gonna play hard.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So it's good to hear that all that stuff. Last year was obviously a down year for the team, but I can speak for most of the fan base. I think that we're back. Like, we're hyped. We're ready for this season.
Absolutely.
We're very, very excited to see you guys get out there and go. So,
man,
anything else you want to talk about here?
I wish you the best, man. I think you know what I mean. I love your story. When we talk to players, former players and stuff, that's kind of like one of my favorite things. Like hearing the adversity and just you could have folded. You could have said, hey, maybe I just am going to be a substitute teacher. It's very cool here and that you never gave up, kept scrapping.
Well, you got the opportunity, took advantage of it.
Yeah.
Now you're going hard at it, which is that's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of people probably rooting for you, man.
I appreciate that, brother.
Oh, for sure. I know we'll be following you through training camp and everything, preseason. Just very excited to see you out there and hope all the best for you. What's the best thing about Cleveland so far that you found? Is it like food or a place to go or like?
Man, honestly, I always say the food, man.
Okay.
Jeez, man. Cleveland has some good food spots. And it's a thing of I try not to. I have my cheat days on the weekends.
Right.
So, but the best place I've had so far, and I'm a big pizza and wings guy, is Angelo's.
Oh yeah.
Angelo's Pizza, great pizza. Because I live in Lakewood, so
cool.
Yep.
It's a great place, man.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for sitting down and talking with us. Cleveland, you guys, we're lucky to have this guy on the team for real. Like Justin said, love your story. I love the mentality you bring to the team and everything. So this is great.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys, thanks for staying on the live stream with us today. We are going to wrap things up because equipment is starting to die. And we've been streaming for 3 hours. We were shooting for 2. So it's been a good event here today at Wabash Lanes in New Philadelphia, Ohio, doing the Bowling with Browns Legends event presented by the Tuscarawas County Browns backers. If you guys this thing's going on until 5. So if you're local, if you still want to come down here, meet all these guys, bowl, hang out with, the Browns Legends that were here today, come on down. They're going to be here until 5 o'clock. They're going to do this again next year. This is the first annual. So if you missed it out on this, this year and you're interested, you wanted to be here, plan ahead. Next year, probably, I don't know when, but it'll probably be around the same time here in June. They're going to do it again, another event, and we're going to ramp it up even more. It's been a ton of fun. So live stream today, again, presented by Omaha Steaks. We want to thank them for sponsoring the stream, omahasteaks.com. Get 50% off site-wide right now for 4th of July and get $45 off your order with our promo code BARK, B-A-R-K, when you check out. You guys, appreciate everybody tuning in. The live stream has been so much fun. The live chat has been popping the entire time. We appreciate all you guys. Stay tuned. Later, next week, we're going to do a live show on, I believe, Tuesday night. It's going to be a listener mailbag segment again, kind of like last week. So if you got questions or comments or takes that you want on the show, you want us to react to it or answer your questions, head to thedawgspodcast.com. Leave us a voicemail in the menu, or you can just send us a message. If you don't want your voice on the show, that's totally fine. You can hit us up. I'll make a post. You can hit us up on X or Facebook or Instagram. Drop your questions in the comments there, and we'll react to everything live on Tuesday night, and then we'll just go from there as this summer break continues on before the Browns report to training camp in late July. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. and we will see you guys on Tuesday.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.